Okay, welcome to AC Cactus Tack. We got a special treat for you on the channel today. This is the SIG 553P or pistol. I just picked this up a couple of weeks ago. Sort of one of those items I've been looking for a long time. I mean, I don't know if any of you, for those of you that have purchased one of these, that the purchase processing to me, or that whole purchase process reminded me of the Seinfeld TV show where they had the soup Nazi, and there was a certain protocol, and no one could ask any questions. You just had to stand in line and get your soup. That's sort of what it's like to get one of these things. You got to get on the list, and when they come in, and hopefully your name's called, and it's your turn on the list, and you get your rifle. But really interesting rifle. We had this on the bench a couple of weeks ago. Got it cleaned up. What I want to do here is, will it fire? We'll see. I hope so. It's not a cheap rifle. Certainly, they say it's when a AK meets a Rolex. Well, the Rolex part is right from a cost standpoint. But what I did is I went ahead and I got a SIG brace to put on this thing. I didn't want to SBR this thing fully just yet. And then I'm, working with a Romeo 5 optic here in the meantime, just to sort of keep within the whole SIG family, even though we've got SIG USA and SIG Switzerland. So let's go ahead and see if this thing will go through a couple of rounds for us. Okay, got it chambered. Take it off safe. And we'll get this optic. Okay, all right. Let's see what we can do here. Wow, the recoil is really nice, I have to say. Wow, this feels awesome. Yeah, okay. I totally get it. I got to put some tape right here. I can already see that the ejection's starting to scratch that up. I'm being a little anal with it because it is so fucking expensive, but this thing shoots really nice. Actually better than I was expecting. There's a little pinging to it, so I wonder if that's to do with the flash hider maybe. But we'll show you in more detail this rifle, and let me just sort of finish this mag out. And bolt lock back and open. All right, so it fires, guys. Awesome. All right, go tip to butt here. Pretty standard flash hider. I know this is to mount a grenade launcher on. Unfortunately, and I guess my biggest disappointment with this is this muzzle device cannot be taken off. So it's all part of an integrated barrel. So I can't really suppress this, which is a little bummer. I mean, given the cost and price of this gun. There's a very simple gas adjustment valve. One is normal and the other is adverse. So a very simple two position setting. You've got some, plastic hand guards. I think this is literally just a chopped down version from their, I'm going to probably get this model number wrong, but probably their 550 rifle, or 553R or something like that. But it's basically cut down from the rifle variant. I did go ahead and source some M-LOK replacements. There is nothing cheap about anything involved with this friggin' gun. I mean, nothing. I mean, to get this M-LOK version was very expensive. And again, it has to come over from Europe. The magazines are very expensive when you can get them. They're a translucent mag. I really do like them, but they're a rock and lock. That's not compatible with AR-15. This is chambered in 5.56. The trigger, it's actually much better than you would think. I'm certainly not going to say that it's a match grade trigger by any stretch, but it's not. It looks like an HK trigger, back like on the MP5, but it shoots way better than that. You can adjust it. There's this plunger. So this trigger activates this plunger. You definitely can adjust that. And I know that people have gotten this thing pretty sweet. We'll show you the trigger in just a bit. I put a SIG optic on. It's Romeo 5, cheapo. Got it on sale during the holidays. You can see I'm already acting like my grandparents and putting plastic on the sofa. I just noticed that. They, of course, sell for a ridiculous price, a clear plastic guard. I think I can find a much cheaper version somewhere else. The one thing that's really interesting is this guard here in terms of the inner workings. It's like a rubberized guard. I mean, that just has to be overbuilt and super expensive with all these screws screwing that in. But definitely will keep ice. These are the ice people that build this rifle. It is a pistol variant. So I basically had to buy a pick rail. And again, that's a Swiss pick rail. So you can imagine the price of that. But got that on, and then I just got this SIG brace, which is on the market here, pretty common. So look at the other side here. And again, pretty easy to break down. You can see that on my other episode. And so just pretty much standard. I really like the color scheme of it. I sort of like this battleship gray. I like the green. I love the translucent. I mean, I don't know. The color scheme just sort of works for me. Really, really like it. So let me put this camera back on the tripod. We'll show you the trigger. Okay, I'm going to try to get this as close to the microphone as possible. Let me just double check, make sure we're all clear and everything. We are. Safety off. So I'm going to bring this up here, and you can see some people call this like a 3-stage trigger. There's the first wall, and then okay, there's the first wall, then there's a second wall, then it breaks, and you can still push a again until you hit the third wall, and then the reset. Oh, sorry, I gotta do this shit. And resets, there's definitely some travel. So let me try doing that again. And again, I'm not a trigger snob, but I know a lot of you guys are really into your triggers. So here we go. Again, there's some take up. There's the first wall, second wall, more take up. Okay, the break. There's a third wall. And, some pretty significant travel. And then you're ready to go again. A little bit of play and travel until it breaks A again. But you can make an adjustment on this. Like it's like a bolt right here. And you can turn that in and turn it out. So I haven't done any adjustment on it, but I think you can really modify this trigger to the way that you all want. So let me just go through like one more time, and I'll try to get the microphone, just make sure sorry for the wind out here, guys. It's not going to come out well, but let's just see. So there we are. That's the trigger. It looks like an HK trigger for those of you that shop like some of the HK Cold War era stuff, but it's way, way better. Way better than that. So it feels a lot better. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and see where we're printing with this optic and try to get a quick 0 on it. Since I'm out here with it for the first time, I thought I'd just get this optic 0'd. I'm not going to use the time for iron sights just yet, but we'll see where this optic's hitting on some paper. And bring it right up about there. Okay. Man, that is loud for whatever reason. My hearing protection is not exactly working as well as I'd like. I'm gonna have to switch to some heavier ones. It's definitely, just feels loud to me. So let's go down and we'll check it out. Okay, we are high and we are to the right. So we've got to come left and down. All right, hopefully, final adjustment here. Just needed to make a slight windage adjustment. And let's just see where we're going here. Okay, we are clear. We'll take that. See, 1, 2, 3, looks like I put 2 there. We'll take that, we'll call that zeroed. And I like what I'm seeing there. All right, cool. Okay, we finally got it zeroed. It took me way too long to get it zeroed, so my math was way off today. But we finally got it there, and I like where it's sitting. We'll take it down there. We'll just run a couple of drills just to get a better feel for it and the overall ergos and things like that. And I'll take you on that journey too. Okay. Up. All right, so 1.76. 1.0. 0.82. 0.89. It was already out of the circle on that one. I'm going to work the safety on these last here. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, working that safety for me is definitely hard. 2 seconds. 1.18. 1.32. Yeah, so where this safety is, I'm hitting one of the pins on the side of my thumb, and the safety's just, if it was just a little longer, it'd be perfect, but I really gotta push in to get my thumb on that safety, so that is a challenge. 0.90. 1.30. 0.74. I'm not sure how many that is. We'll just do one more. Ah, shit. 1.26. Okay. So the next set of circles is 5 sessions of 2. Okay, so that's what we'll do. 1.46. 1.37. Yeah, that safety is hard for me to manipulate on every single one, so I'm going to leave it off between the sessions here. Okay, through 1 out. 1.22. Okay, 1.10. And our last one here. Okay, so through 1. And by the way, if you're doing this drill for real, based on their standards, you throw any single shot out, you're like done. It's already like an auto fail. So I've already failed the drill. All right, so now we've got 2 sessions of 5 on that last one. Oh shit, I threw 3 out. That's bad. Okay. Wow. Let's try it again here. Oh shit. Up. All right, one thing I'll show you guys is this is a dual mag. So the magazine that came with the rifle didn't come with these locking nubs on it. So I ordered 2 magazines separate, and they came with these locking nubs, and they interlock with each other. So sort of cool. And I would assume with enough training, you get into some nice fast changes here. So let's try that again. All right, a little bit better, a little bit better. So let's just try that bill drill again, 1.74. Shit, threw one out on that one too. All right, so anyway, that's the standard. So working this, I can tell you that the way this, make sure I'm on safe here. Yep, safe. With this handle and where these safeties are, I wish these safeties were just a little bit, they're a 45-degree throw, but I wish they were just a little bit longer. But the challenge is, let me make sure I'm not flagging anyone here. The challenge is when this is one of the pins, okay, that you push out to take it apart. So when you're working with this thumb, at least my short thumb, because I've got small hands, it's definitely rubbing up against that. So I would say from the ergo standpoint, sort of a negative, at least for a me. But you know, if there was an opportunity to ever replace safeties, I would definitely look to do that. Let's just go ahead and we'll throw a couple of rounds in the berm here, get you some slow motion, see if I can get the, you can see, you know, sort of the recoil and stuff. We can slow this down and you can get a sense of the recoil. So we'll do 6 quick shots here. All right, and we'll do it again. And I'll do one more. Definitely this brace, probably not the best. I think you'd probably want to SBR it and put the stock on. I'm just holding off because, again, the price of the gun's pretty steep. If I don't like it, I want to be able to, you know, sell it quickly. There's a great aftermarket with these things. People still pay top dollar. They hold their value really, really well. Of course, now that I'm scratching up that thing, I don't know how well that's going to hold up. But I just wanted to get a sense and use it for a while. That's why I sort of went with the brace, just to give me some options. But you can buy a full stock. And I would say, as I'm already working with this, and I know there's probably better braces than the SIG. I mean, I just went with SIG to keep within the family. Probably some better braces, but I'm just keeping it. So after shooting a bit, yeah, I can feel some heat. This is super hot right there. So this is the gas block, and that is hot. You can definitely feel it. It's AK hot. So definitely the AK DNA is coming through there. I'm feeling the heat coming through these ports. So you probably want to get some gloves if you're shooting this thing for any type of extended period of a time. Now that we're putting some rapid rounds through it, definitely starting to feel the heat. All in all, the balance, the weight is not bad at all. So let me just empty out this round here. Okay. Okay, my other camera sort of took a dump and it's out of commission, out of storage. So apologies for the wind here. I'm doing the best that I can. Let me just sort of recap where we are. This is the SIG 553P, chambered in 5.56 by 45. It's pistol version. I think it's an 11.5-inch barrel. It's, you know, if you watch the episode I did where I had it on the bench, you can absolutely see the similarities between an AK and this rifle. So is there a lot of AK in this? Yes, but it is different from an AK. I mean, the recoil, it's phenomenal. I mean, it feels like driving a limo compared to an AK. The whole operation is really great. The balance, everything is phenomenal with this particular rifle. I'm sure the actual rifle itself is even better, longer, barrel and things like that, just from a shooting standpoint. So my initial impressions on the ergos, maybe not that great, certainly not as good as an AR-15. I was definitely having some issues getting the safety and working the safety on those drills. It's right next to this pin, so if you have small hands, you may have a little bit of a challenge here. There's pretty much close to non-existent aftermarket for this. There's a couple of companies that make a couple of accessories, but it's pretty slim pickings. So it's nothing like the AR-15 aftermarket. So keep that in mind if you decide to get one. You'll probably want an SBR. I can tell you, at least shooting with this particular brace, which is probably not as good as other braces that you can get. You'd want something a little bit better. This thing keeps twisting, sort of a pain in the ass. I just got it because it was SIG. Should have known better. And then, the optic, I went with SIG too. But you can, this is a nice pick rail on it. I mean, this thing is tapped in. You're not going to have any problem with zero with this thing. It is in there solid. It's definitely protected against the elements. This is a perfect rifle if you're in cold weather environments, as it was made by the ice people. But I think it will work well in desert environments too, keeping a lot of dust and grit out. Magazines are this polymer. They are not standard with the AR-15, so they are somewhat proprietary. Beautiful looking mag, but very expensive. I think $60. Nothing about this rifle is cheap. So if you get into this thing, everything's expensive. I'm getting I found a company in Europe, or actually I bought this company's product from the distributor that brings these in. It's an M-LOK rail that you can replace this plastic stuff here. And I mean, several $100s. So depending on what you want to do there. All in all, I mean, it feels super good to shoot, man. I mean, it's a recoil that I've never felt on anything else before, to be honest. I guess the closest thing I could compare it to would be a roller lock delayed type of operating system. It feels like that type of recoil to me. If you get a chance to shoot one, I would definitely recommend it. Take that opportunity. I think you guys will really like it. Gas block certainly does get very hot, gets AK hot. You can feel that heat coming through here, so you'll want to wear some gloves. Again, the ergonomics, while it's ambidextrous safety, that's about it. Your bolt release, make sure I'm not flagging anyone here. Your bolt release or your bolt catch is on the other side, right there. Fairly easy to get to. And then I do really like this mag release. So if you're used to shooting AKs or FALs or things on that nature, this type of mag release you won't have any problem with, and it's sort of a rock and lock mag. Good overall weight and balance. If you're used to AKs, definitely a lot heavier, okay? Or not AKs, AR-15, sorry. Definitely a lot heavier than an AR-15, but it feels good, man. It's a good operating weight is all I can say. It just feels good, sort of soaks up that recoil, feels good when you put it into your shoulder. I don't think you're going to get overly tired carrying this thing, at least in the pistol version that I have here, but certainly a lot heavier than an AR-15 pistol, okay? Everything about this, when I broke it apart, just reeks of quality and precision, as you would expect from the Swiss. So I think from a quality standpoint, at least through the first 160 rounds, certainly very, very good. So with that, I will close it out. I'm going to keep working with this thing. I'll bring you along on other range days when I have this thing out, and I've got to make a decision on what I want to do here to SBR it or not. Because of the cost of this rifle, as I mentioned before, I'm just a little concerned that if I don't like it, or I need to get rid of it to pay some bills quickly, when you SBR it, it's just a pain in the ass because, you got to engrave it and all this other crap. And a lot of people, they don't really like that, shit. So it sort of hampers the resale ability of it. So I don't know what I'll do there, but I can certainly think that, going the SBR, keeping this thing, might be the way to go. So we will see. Haven't made that final call yet, but I'm thinking I'll even compete with this thing. I mean, it felt that good. So anyway, thanks a lot for joining along. Feel free to comment if you guys have this, anything that you have experience with it. It'd be great to know your initial thoughts. Again, I'm not an expert. This is my very first one on it, and I'm just sort of experienced it. I really just wanted this in the collection. I wanted one of these unique rifles that's, not that it's hard to get, it's a pain in the ass to get, Anyone can get one of these. You just got to cough up the dough and go on the list and go through that whole soup Nazi buying experience, and you'll get yours. The other challenge with that is that, like, the 553P may not be brought in on the next shipment from Switzerland. It's literally whatever they decide to throw in to the container. That's what it feels like. So there's not a lot of consistency with variants or models that, at least from my view, coming into the country. So, you sort of have to see what's there, or, contact, what is this company's name? It's JDI, I think is the name of the company, JDI Imports. Guy's name is Dave, I believe, that runs it. Can be hard to get a hold of, but I think he's a very small businessman, and obviously a lot of people have a lot of interest in these types of rifles, so you just got to keep at them. But even he doesn't know what's going to be put on, like, the pallet. So I think the hot model right now that people really want to get is what they call the SOCOM. I don't know too much about that. When I saw the pistol version, I was super stoked with that. Again, my other disappointment, aside from some of the ergos with the safety, my other disappointment is that it's an integral muzzle device barrel. It's one and the same. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like I can suppress it. There are some threads inside of the muzzle device here. So maybe I'll do some research and see if someone's come up with some type of a thread end that can enable you to mount some type of a suppressor on it. But that would be the only other disappointment, is not being able to sort of suppress this thing. They do have versions where you can. It's just that when I went on the list, those were not available. They also have a 7.62 by 39. I think it's called the R for Russian. So they do have a 7.62 by 39 version. And again, they have full-size rifles and stuff like that. So anyway, very cool rifle. Super privileged to have this. Excited to keep it in the collection and bring it out to the range. Definitely a lot more. So with that, signing off from the desert, AZ Cactus Tac. Thanks for watching.